Deep breathing. Deep breathing before any time of the day. Deep breathing. Bonus points if you remember to do it before your meals. So deep breathing with your exhales longer than your inhales is one of the only scientifically proven ways of turning back on your parasympathetic nervous system, which I've spoken about quite a lot already. Parasympathetic nervous system, rest and digest. Sympathetic nervous system, fight or flight. So, also, there's a term that you might have heard called muscle memory. So muscle memory we have when we repeat something more than 1,000 times that it becomes automatic. It's not actually the muscles that are holding the memory, it's the neural pathways, so the nervous system. So you're creating these neural pathways that control the muscles. So when you repeat something 1,000 times, it becomes automatic. The nerves know what to do, and the muscles respond to what the nerves tell them to do. So this is something that you can consciously control. You can't consciously control how much stomach acid you release. You can't consciously control how many digestive enzymes you release. But you can consciously control how you breathe. And you do that enough times, then it becomes subconscious, so you don't really need to think about it. Think about the first time you tried to drive a car, especially if you tried to drive a stick. I was stalling all over the show, trying to do the flickers, it was pretty stressful. Now I don't even think about it. It's just like so automatic because you've done it so many times. So, when you do deep breathing, actually, when I was starting to be a naturopath, this is like over 10 years ago now, one of the first assignments that they gave us was to do a 10-day deep breath challenge. So 10 deep breaths, morning and night, for 10 days. And we tracked it. So we tracked our stress levels, how stressed we felt before and after. All of us had a reduction in our stress levels from breathing. And we can do this anytime, anywhere. It just takes like a bit of training. So I invite you to try this every morning and every night. So as soon as your eyelids start to open, before you reach for your phone, before you do anything, just do 10 deep breaths. I like to put my hands on my belly, so I put them like by the belly button, just below the belly button I put mine, and the fingertips are touching, and then as I breathe in, your belly's going to expand. As you breathe out, the belly falls. If you've ever watched a baby sleeping, you'll notice that their belly rises on the inhale, falls on the exhale. Have a little look around when you watch an adult sleeping. Chances are it's their chest, because we shallow breathing, we learn this paradoxical breathing. The belly should rise and then fall. So you want to make your exhales longer than your inhales. It doesn't matter how many counts the inhale, doesn't matter how many counts the exhales. I like to do double the amount of time for the exhale than I do for the inhale. Also, how long you can go doesn't necessarily correlate with how healthy you are or something like that. So my lung capacity is not as great as my brother's was. So when we were little, we used to swim laps underneath the water in the swimming pool, and he would always beat me. And then in adulthood, when we were going to have a same competition, and I was at the height of my yoga, I was like super clean eating, I was just in like peak health, and I was like, I'm gonna smash him, because he was pretty heavy into drugs and smoked and alcohol and all these different things. It's like, I've got him now, I've got him. I didn't, he smoked me. So if you can't go for too long, don't freak out too much about that. So what I do, I start at 1 and 2. So I breathe in for 1, I breathe out for 2, and I work my way up to breathing in for 4 and out for 8. So that can look for breathing in for 1 and 2 for a bit, then 2 and 4 for a bit, and then when I get to 4, me personally, I can't go straight from 4 to 8. So I go in for 4, out for 4, in for 4, out for 5, in for 4, out for 6, in for 4, out for 7, in for 4, out for 8. So when I build up like that, I'm not gasping, because you don't want to do that either. Great. Hands on the belly, 10 deep breaths, morning and night. If you remember to do it before meals, that would be amazing. That's going to put you into your parasympathetic nervous system, rest and digest. Everything gets the go ahead to digest your meal better. If you don't believe me, so in one of my Zero Freedom groups a couple of years ago now, I think, I was talking about the deep breathing. I mentioned it quite early on because it's so effective. And one of the girls she was feeling better in a lot of ways, but her bloating wasn't down that much, and she was doing all the right things, and bless her little sock, she was trying really, really hard. And then she made like a flippant remark that she inhaled her food. I was like, whoa. Tell me again about how you're eating. And she's like, I'm often like eating really fast and standing up at my desk. And I was like, well, let's just start there. Like, no more supplements, no more herbs, don't do any of that. I just want you to do me a solid, give it a go for 1 week, do the deep breathing, sit down to eat your meals, and actually chew your food. In the space of 1 week, her bloating went down from an 8 out of 10 to a 2 out of 10. Not changing the food, not adding in supplements, just from doing this deep breathing and actually chewing her food and sitting down to eat. How cool is that? It's your breath. We've all got breath. Breath. Deep breathing, yo, it's pretty cool.